From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says he has a list of names of past and present Conservatives engaged in or at high risk of participating in foreign interference. He testified at the Foreign Interference Inquiry. He told Canada's spy agency to brief the Conservative leader, but that Pierre Poilievre won't try to get the security clearance needed to learn who is on the list. The Prime Minister called Poilievre's decision irresponsible.
Nobody in his party, not him, and nobody in a position of power knows the names of these individuals and can take appropriate action.
Poilievre has called on the Prime Minister to release the list of names, but in a statement says that Trudeau won't because the list doesn't exist. An analyst warns this country's allies might limit their response to the Canada-India diplomatic spat over concerns about their own strategic interests. Canadian officials allege New Delhi has been involved in an escalating number of violent crimes in Canada. Indian foreign policy researcher Sushant Singh says Canadian officials tried to raise their concerns with Indian authorities with little success.
The Indian side did not care enough to really respond to whatever evidence was presented to them. And I think in this situation, if we go by what the Canadian version is, then very clearly there is little choice left for them but to raise these stakes.
Singh says many of Ottawa's allies see New Delhi as their best hope of having influence in the Indo-Pacific, especially against China's influence in the region. Canada's border guards have recovered more stolen vehicles at rail yards and ports so far this year than in all of 2023. Transport Minister Anita Anand says border agents have found nearly 2,000 stolen vehicles, with most of them located in Quebec. The Canada Revenue Agency says it has fired more than 300 employees who took pandemic benefits when they didn't qualify. The Canada Emergency Response Benefit provided $2,000 per month to Canadians who lost their jobs because of public health restrictions. The CRA says employees who inappropriately received the benefit are required to pay back the money they received. An October supermoon will light up the night sky tonight and tomorrow, at the same time as a newly discovered comet whizzes past. Science reporter Marcia Dunn says it's a rare stargazing 2-for-1.
The moon really isn't any bigger, but it will look bigger and brighter because it's so close. And a comet was discovered last year that swept past Earth on Saturday. And now it is leaving our neighborhood, but this week is the week to see it even with the naked eye.
Astronomers are advising skywatchers to catch the comet because it may never return. But there will be another supermoon November 15th. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Toronto Maple Leafs host the Los Angeles Kings in NHL action tonight. The Leafs are looking for a third straight win after opening the season with a loss at Montreal. The contest is one of 4 on tonight's NHL schedule. The Los Angeles Dodgers are in New York to take on the Mets in Game 3 of the National League Championship Series. The team split the first 2 games of the best-of-7 set in Los Angeles. Quarterback Chad Kelly and linebacker Wynton McManus of the Toronto Argonauts have been named the CFL's top offensive and defensive performers for Week 19 of the CFL season. Ottawa's Gabriella Dabrowski and partner Aaron Routliffe of New Zealand have advanced to the women's doubles semifinals at the Japan Open with a win over Japan's Shuko Aoyama and Eri Hozumi. And former Canada soccer captain Christine Sinclair is headed to the BC Sports Hall of Fame. From the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.